Raise your hand if your goal is to lose weight for 2017. Okay. Raise your hand if you've ever lost weight only to gain it right back. Okay. And last but not least, raise your hand if you agree that losing weight is annoying, challenging, and honestly, frustrating. Good, right? So we've all been there. Okay, and you're probably looking at me thinking, what does she know about weight loss? She doesn't need to lose any weight. But if you would have seen me about 8 years ago, I was about 40 pounds heavier. And this was before I had my 2 kids, before I had my crazy corporate career and my side business. So how does a busy modern woman that does it all now is able to maintain her shape and still live a healthy lifestyle? So that's a whole nother story for another presentation, but today I'm here to tell you about my simple 5-step process to effective weight loss so that you never gain it back. And honestly, I have 3 objectives for the presentation. The first objective is to tell you the truth about why you're overweight. Trust me, it's not your fault. The second objective is to tell you the truth about why you're struggling to lose weight. It has nothing to do with discipline or willpower. And the third objective is to tell you why you don't need to spend money on a personal trainer, go on another fad diet, join Weight Watchers, or start adding cayenne pepper or turmeric to your coffee or tea. That's like the latest fad these days. I mean, unless you really want to. All right, before I get to the 5-step process, I want to tell you a story about the standard American diet, right? And if you're into acronyms, that spells out SAD. It's filled with processed foods, a lot of carbohydrates, a lot of sugar, and a lot of the stuff you know this. But if we go back to history, to when the obesity trend actually started becoming a trend, it was back in about the 1950s and 1960s when processed foods started coming into play and they were corrupting the shelves of the grocery stores. Fast food joints started popping up like McDonald's. And so that's when the obesity trend actually, if you look back in history, officiated. It's when it kind of started. And since then, it's just been rising. And childhood obesity is on the rise. Right now, more than 2/3 of Americans are obese or overweight, and 18+ children are obese. 18% plus children are overweight or obese too. Right now, kids are slated to live a lot less than their parents, and it's because of all of the risk factors that are associated with the obesity epidemic. And I'm not here to scold you because, like I said, it's not your fault. It's not Americans' fault that we're overweight. So why does this happen? The reason why it's not your fault is if you go outside, it's a lot easier for you to go through a drive-thru and get a McDonald's, a Big Mac, or whatever supersize me meal than it is for you to get off, park your car, go to the green juicery place down the street, because it's inconvenient. We live in a society where convenience and fast foods are just more accessible. They're cheaper. They're more attractive. They taste better. I mean, all the sugar in there, than all the salt and the fat. I mean, my mouth waters whenever I see a bag of chips. And the problem right now is with society, okay? Fast foods and junk foods are easily accessible. It's the more attractive choice. It's the easier choice. It's everywhere you go. Just parking down here, I saw you guys have the food truck with the pork meals, and I'm not saying anything against meat or anything. I'm not praising any specific diet, but this is the kind of things that you have working against you. Okay, so that's the reason why it's not your fault you're overweight. The second objective about why you're struggling to lose weight is you go down the street and somebody is using the paleo diet. Somebody is going raw vegan. Another person is using spices to lose weight. So does that mean if I add spices to my donut, I'm gonna lose weight? No. It's just like, seriously. So the fitness industry is now making profits. It's a business model for them because now it's in their favor to keep you hooked on trying to use their model to lose weight because it's generating income for them too. And the third objective regarding why you don't need to spend money on a personal trainer or do another fad diet is because we gotta just take a step back and go back to the fundamentals about what we have to do to stay healthy. And eventually, the weight loss will just happen on its own. This is why I'm telling you it's simple, it's effortless, and it's effective. So here we go. Get your pen and paper down because here are the 5 steps. The first step is water. I'm gonna sound like a broken record, right? Everybody says, drink more water. And then you're like, oh, but I heard that if I add lemon to my water, it's gonna help me burn more fat. Just start with drinking the water. Don't overcomplicate it. Seriously. And then I hear somebody say, well, I heard that alkaline water is better versus tap water. Again, just drink the water. And I'm gonna give you a little bit, just to keep it simple, I'm gonna give you an analogy. You wouldn't wash your dishes with soap and scrub them and not rinse them off with water. You wouldn't go to the restroom, have a bowel movement, probably TMI, and you would not flush it with water. Because water helps things flush down and out. That's as simple as it gets. So imagine if you were to take your dishes that you wash with soap, if you take your body and you eat healthy, but you don't flush everything down with water, what's gonna happen? If you're flushing it down with soda, what would happen if you wash your dishes with soap and then rinse them off with soda? If you rinse them off with diet soda, it makes no difference. It's the same crap. Excuse my language. I'm just being honest with you. And so water is the essential force that you need to flush all of these toxins out of your body from years of consuming these highly processed, chemicalized foods. Keep it as simple as that. Start with water. If you don't know how much, take your body weight, divide that in half, and make that your goal. The average American right now does not drink enough water, and as you start to drink more water, you're going to start drinking less soda, you're going to lose 25 pounds. One of my clients just emailed me and said, hey, I just gave up soda for 2 weeks and I already lost 12 pounds. A person gave up soda and added these other tips I'm going to share with you, 25 pounds lost. Because it's simple. It's society that's doing this to you. Okay, the second step is, the first step is water. The second step is just preparing your meals. Meal prepping. Right now it's a big craze. If you go on Instagram, you see people with extraordinary and extravagant pictures of how they meal prep, and again, they're overcomplicating it. For you, just start packing your lunch for the next day. Don't ask me what, don't ask me how much, just pack it. That is the first step of being prepared. Eventually, as you evolve through your weight loss journey, yes, macronutrients do matter, yes, portion control does matter, but right now it's about establishing these habits so that when you do come into the workplace and you're starving, you have a packed lunch versus you saying, oh man, the food truck's out there. Yeah, I'm gonna go get something from the food truck. It's about making your choices easier and removing any obstacles or challenges. So the first step is water. Second step is start packing your meals, either batch cook at night, pack some leftovers, make yourself a sandwich, bring a bag of lettuce, bring anything from your fridge so that you can be prepared at work and have your meals ready. The third step is going to be to clean out your kitchen. Yes, I'm asking you to get a divorce from all the stuff you have in the pantry that has a shelf life longer than your grandma's dentures. Seriously, you have to get rid of this stuff. Because it goes back to if you're spending money on a gym membership, but then you go back home only to have self-sabotaging foods, what is that going to do to you? So you have to make your environment work for you. Because if you go outside of your environment, society is already working against you. If you go to Best Buy at the checkout stands, you have candy bars, chips, soda, always yelling at you, buy me, eat me. So you have to start with your home environment. Start with the pantry. Start with the side of the refrigerator. Get rid of anything that has added sugars. Things that have a long shelf life, things that you do not need. I'm gonna leave that to you. So the first step is water, second step, pack your food, third step is clean out your kitchen. The fourth step is just move a little bit more. Again, the clients that I work with when they're trying to lose weight, they say, well, okay, so I want to lose weight, so that means I have to go to the gym 5 times a week for 30 minutes. I have to do strength exercising twice a week for 15 minutes, and then I have to do high intensity cardio, and then I have to walk. It's like you're overcomplicating it, honestly. Just look for opportunities to move more. If you have access to the staircase here, take the stairs. When you go to Target, stop circling the parking lot. In the very back, you guys, there's a lot of parking. And you probably get to the front of the store by just walking than by circling the parking lot. Again, stop seeing cleaning your house as a chore. This is an opportunity for you to move, to get down and scrub, right? So you're squatting when you get down. It's an opportunity for you to have a dance party with your kids. They like this stuff. It's an opportunity. Start looking for opportunities for you to just move more because we're constantly sitting in our desks. We're constantly sitting in traffic. Just move. They're opportunities. They're great opportunities. And the fifth step is a concept that was founded by Joshua Rosenthal, who is the founder and director of the largest nutrition school in the world, Integrative Nutrition. And he calls this concept crowding out by crowding in. So you want to crowd out all of the bad stuff, all of the bad foods, all of the things that you don't want that are not serving you in your life, and crowd it in with good stuff. So this means that if you're drinking more water, you're automatically crowding out soda and juices because there's no room in the stomach, right? Because you've already crowded it in with water. You're crowding out the fast food because you're crowding in your packed lunches and your packed meals. You're crowding out all of that area that you have in your kitchen and your pantry with all of that processed foods. You're crowding it out and you're making room for good stuff. And you can use this concept for other areas of your life because it's really all integrated. And so I just want to recap really quick. The 5 steps is water. The second step is to pack your meals. Don't overcomplicate it. Third step is to clean out your kitchen. The fourth step is to just move more. There are opportunities, lots of opportunities. Start looking for them. And the fifth step is to crowd out by crowding in. Remember, it's not your fault that you're overweight. It's not your fault that you're struggling to lose weight. And you don't need to spend any more money. Just start with what you have, and you're going to find that if you're consistent with these 5 steps, you're going to have effective and effortless weight loss. Thank you.